What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So HP and I were brainstorming what to cover in today's video and what we could talk about. But the problem is there's just not a whole lot going on right now. The get around car is out on a rental, the Turo fleet is fully utilized, the RV is going out tomorrow and all things are pretty well set with that, and the camper van is going quite smoothly.
Sorry, I don't know what to do with my hands. But then that's when I realized we've never talked about our own personal fleet, so let's go take a look. So today we're gonna be breaking down our 3-car personal fleet, starting off with my 1996 Fun Ford Ranger. And it's named the Fun Ford Ranger because, well, it has it on the license plate. And as you can tell, it's a classic truck. Man, that is dirty. It's a classic truck because it's over 25 years old, and I love every bit of it. Let me show you why. Now, the reason why I call it the Fun Ford Ranger is because it is actually incredibly fun to drive. Now, I used to have a Focus ST, which is a very sporty hot hatch, so why would I figure that this old rust bucket right here is actually more fun than that vehicle itself? Well, it's got a bed on the back. It's lowered, and it has all the utility of a truck, but all the nice essence that a car guy would like. Now, as you can see, the vehicle is low. Well, a lot lower than a regular Ford Ranger would be. It's actually on some Mustang wheels because Mustangs, pretty much of like, I don't know, the past 25 years, have had the same exact bolt pattern that this Ranger needed, and I feel like Mustang wheels just kind of suit it a little bit better. Makes it look a lot more aggressive for something that is essentially just a lowrider truck. Mustang wheels aside, this actually doesn't have Mustang power whatsoever. It's got a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, which made, I think, like a whopping 105 horsepower. I'd probably say it makes somewhere in the ballpark of 70 to 80. Now, what does that mean when you're getting on the highway? It means I have to give it everything she's got, and it's not a lot. Now, the exterior is not clean because it never gets garage kept any longer. Now that I have the Shelby inside and Aubrey's vehicle, so she doesn't get nice and toasty when she goes to drive it off during the day, this vehicle gets all the dust in all the weather, which is fine though because the paint isn't all that exciting, but the vehicle itself is. And in typical 1996 Ford fashion, the inside is actually kind of basic. There's not a whole lot going on in here. The only really big things that I've done on this vehicle, aside from kind of fixing the suspension, making it so it rides a little bit better, putting some nicer wheels on it, redoing the headliner. I'll get to the sun visors later, they're kind of ratty. This vehicle just really serves one purpose, and it's to get me to point A and point B with a little bit of style, not a lot of speed. So I paid $2,700 for this truck last year, and it's incredibly reliable, and honestly, I don't think there's a really high dollar figure that I'd end up selling this truck for. Definitely something I'm gonna keep forever, but let's talk about our next vehicle. This is my 2020 Ford Shelby GT500. If you're new to the channel, you're maybe not be familiar with it, but if you're not new, then you know that we flew all the way to Florida to go get this car and drive it all 1,200 miles back. Now, this car is my favorite. This is the reason why I have a daily driver, because it's not the most practical vehicle to pick up car parts in or just drive around daily because it gets like 16 miles to the gallon. Now, we're gonna keep this brief because we've talked about this car in a number of videos, and quite honestly, I could probably talk about this vehicle for 30 minutes straight. Not joking.
I think 30 minutes is a understatement.
Yeah, more like 300 minutes. Now, this is Ford's most powerful Mustang to date, being that it has 762 horsepower. And honestly, I've been wanting a Ford, well, a Cobra or a Shelby GT500 for a very long time. This vehicle really is a dream come true for me. Now, last but not least, it's time to talk about Aubrey's vehicle, the pied de la résistance, the crème de la crème, her 1997 Faux Runner.
This is my 1997 Toyota 4Runner, and I've had this car since I was 16 years old. So my dad got me this car whenever I was 16 years old with the intention of learning how to drive with it. He bought it from a family friend for $4 grand. I learned how to drive with it for a few years. I then passed it on to my cousin who learned how to drive with it. And then from there, it kind of bounced around different family friends and family members. Then about 6 years ago, my sister's ex-boyfriend was driving the car. He had ran it into the ground by simply not taking care of it and treating it like trash. And at that point, my dad asked for HP to take it over, and from there he turned it into what it is today, and we've owned it ever since. Now, the original color of this car was white, but about 2 years ago HP did a full paint redo with this Raptor liner.
Now, Aubrey likes to give me the credit just because I sprayed it, but Aubrey did a lot of the prep work on this truck bed lining on the outside. It cost us about $300, and we did it right in our garage, and we honestly didn't really know what we were doing, but it came out pretty good. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But does it make this thing kind of stand out a little bit in the parking lot? Absolutely. Now, thanks to my buddy Cupcake, he hooked us up with these really fat, meaty off-road tires and these unique Tacoma wheels. We had to space them out a little bit so they fit the wheel gap nice and tight, but Aubrey definitely loves the look of these noisy mud terrain tires. We don't really often go off-roading. Now, whenever we took over the 4Runner, a lot of the stuff that we ended up doing to the vehicle, looks aside, was more mechanical. We wanted to make sure that the vehicle was, one, safe to drive, and two, reliable. But because we're working on such a tight budget, we honestly didn't put the best parts in it. So now I've been hoarding a bunch of stuff and top quality parts to make sure that this vehicle lasts forever.
Now, by far, my favorite feature of my 4Runner is the fact that the back seats fold completely down, giving you all of this room in the trunk and back area. And the fact that the windows roll 100% down, making it the perfect car for Nico. Nico absolutely loves this car. It was truly made for him, and he gets pretty anxious in vehicles, and yet he has no problem in this car. It is exactly what I want out of a dog car. In fact, this 4Runner has convinced me that I will never ever own a car that doesn't have these two features. Having the seats fold down all the way and having the windows roll down are features that are a must-have for any car that I'll own, because I think it's the only way that a dog can truly enjoy rides in the car. Now, the interior of this car is a bit rundown. But after HP's done working on the mechanical aspects of the car, the interior is going to be the next thing on the to-do list, and we're hoping to address that this fall, so I am super excited to see how this all turns out. But all things considered, I think the car looks really good. Whenever we bought it, back whenever I was 16, it had about 150,000 miles on it, and now it currently has about 320,000 miles. And to be honest, I don't think we will ever sell this car.
Now, as much as a Ford fanboy as I am, or that I say that I am, this Toyota 4Runner has single-handedly made me a very strong believer in Toyota products. In fact, our next personal vehicle is going to be the newest generation of Toyota 4Runners whenever it comes out, hopefully by 2024, because Aubrey's going to be daily driving that from then on.
But you guys, there you have it, our 3-car personal fleet.
The cars that we use every single day. But guys, as always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next episode. He's a good one, he's just a good one, he's a good one, he's a good boy, he's a good boy!